So a tangent is like where it just hits the circle at that one spot. Like just barely like touches it. A secant is a line that like goes through the circle in 2 points. So those are called secants. We do a tangent and secants on curves in like later math. So they come back, those vocabulary. But basically, here's the gist for like all these different angles. So, basically, if the angle is in the circle but not like in the middle, you're going to follow this formula. If it's on the circle, you've already done this. You're going to cut the arc in half. You're going to follow that formula. And if it's outside the circle, what happened to my picture? Oh, there it is. There it is. So if the angle vertex is outside the circle, you're going to follow that formula. That's like the gist. Okay. Things to remember is central is the same. So I put this all on the board too, so you can, like when you're working on the homework, you can kind of reference it. So like the center, the angle's the same. So if the arc's 60, the angle's 60. If it's on the circle, so that's this middle one, we've already done this one. But if it's on the circle, that means you're going to cut it in half. Okay, so that's like, what did I do? Blue for all these? Okay, so for this one, if it's on, like on the circle, the vertex, you're going to cut it in half to get it. Okay, so that's all you do with it. You just cut it in half. So the vertex on the circle, cut in half. Now the in and the outside, one's adding, one's subtracting. So the adding one is when it's inside the circle. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the two arcs like across the angle, if that makes sense, add them, divide by 2. Okay, so you're going to average them. That's how you find that angle. And then outside the circle, you're going to take the bigger one. So you're going to take like all of these bigger ones. Okay, subtract the little one and then divide by 2. And that's how you get the angle sticking out. So once you figure out the vertex, either average, cut in half, equal, or subtract, divide by 2. So it just depends on where it is. So we're just going to crank examples and then give you a lot of work time. So like for all of these, like you're going to have to find an angle or an arc or whatever, and you just have to figure out where the vertex of the angle is. So like for number 1, X, if you notice, is in the circle. Okay, so if you're doing the in but not center, because it's like kind of off a little bit, you're going to average the arcs. Okay, so what you're going to do is to find the, so it'd be X equals, and then you take the two arcs like across from it, you know, so 88 and 76, add them, divide by 2. And then you divide by 2. And that's the formula. That's just like the pattern, how you find the angle for that. So then you just algebra it. So 140, 150, 164. So 82, I think, for the answer for that one. So you just add them, divide by 2. Now we need angle QPS. So angle QPS is right here, right? So then what you have to notice is like it's on the circle, you know what I mean? Or it's like legit on it, okay? So any of them with the on circle is just cutting in half. That's nothing new from like what we've done before. So for the on the circle, you just, I mean, if it helps, extend the sides of the angle, you know? And it's just the arc between the sides. So you're literally, all you're going to do is cut 250 in half. So you take half of 250, so 125 degrees. And that's all you do, okay? Angle TSR, so then you figure out where that one is. So TSR is out here. So it's outside the circle. So again, extend the sides of it, and then you're going to do this thing. So you're going to do the big one minus the little one and divide by 2. So as long as you know where the angle is, you'll be fine, honestly. So like to find that angle, you're going to take the big arc, 179, subtract the small arc, which is 71, and then divide by 2. And then you get your answer. So what is that? 108, so 54. So 54 degrees, and that's it. Okay. So that's the, like if you have to find the angle, but then they try to be weird, you know, and they'll make you like try to find an arc instead. So instead of like you setting it up where x equals, like your x might be like in the equation. Do you know what I mean? So it's still the same idea, like number 4, you're having to find an arc, but then you have to see like what kind of problem is it, like where is the angle measure in this thing, and the angle measure is not in the center, it's not outside, it's not on, it's in. Right, so it's in the circle, so you're gonna use this like formula for it, but now your x is in like a different spot. Do you know what I mean? So like instead of solving for it, it's like you're given it. So you're gonna do 60, I don't wanna write this, 60 equals, and then for that formula, you average the arcs. So now your x is like in the problem, if that makes sense. So you're going to add them, divide by 2, and now you're just solving like cutesy little algebra stuff to figure it out. Here, we can zoom in. So to solve these, I usually clear the fractions. So I would do, move it over here. I'll do 120 equals x plus 25, and then subtract. So 95. So that's it. All my arcs got disappeared again. So that's cool. All right, DCB, so you try to figure out where that is. So DCB, oh, it's kind of weird. But we need to find that arc. So then, again, it's arc stuff we need to find. So look for what kind of angle thing they're doing here. So I'm going to find the angle. Here's the angle on the circle, right? So it's on it. So for the in the circle, or on the circle, sorry, on the circle is like the double and a half thing. So what you're going to do is, the idea here is find the arc, find this arc, because this is the arc in between the two sides, you know, of the angle. Double it, so that'd be what, 216, right, degrees. And then, because if you look at it, the orange is just like the rest of it, right? So to find this orange piece, you can just take 360 minus the 216, and then you have the arc measure. So it's like puzzly, you know what I mean? I don't know. What is that, 44 degrees? So, questions at all so far? No? This is like the same idea, but my arc thing keeps disappearing. So again, like you need to find an arc, but like figure out what kind of angle problem it is, you know? So this is the outside one. So if this is the outside angle, like there's an angle outside the circle, that's how you know you're going to do the subtracty one with the divide by 2. So the angle 62 is where you take the big arc minus small one and divide by 2. So your big arc, again, if it helps, like extend the sides of this of the angle, you know. So your big arc is 141, so you can go 141, and then your x is BC, so I usually just put x there, and then you're gonna solve it. So again, I usually just clear the fractions, it's easier for me. So you get 124 equals 141 minus x. I usually subtract the 141, so you get negative x, and then, what is that, 36 or something? No, that doesn't make sense, 17. Whoa, we're having issues today. So negative 17, but then you get 17. Great answer. Okay. Oh, degrees I gotta put. So, that's it. Okay. Any questions so far? They can get juicier, like this one, because the X is in like, I don't know how to explain, like the wrong spot, do you know what I mean? Like, because if you think about it, like, okay, first figure out, okay, the angle with this thing is the in one, right? So this is going to be the average one. So you're going to do the adding of the arcs divide by 2. But the problem is like your arcs aren't like given for the x. Do you know what I mean? Like there's no like arc here and here. It's like blank. So the plan for this kind of problem is you're going to do these two and figure out like y or something. I don't know, make up a variable. Like do it with like the angle adjacent to x, like right next to it. Because then, do you see, you could just do a 180. Do you know what I mean? So some of these are more like puzzly because you're going to have to like do like a couple steps. So again, the plan is do y or m or whatever variable you want. And because it's like in the circle, this is the averaging one. So you're going to do 62 and 96 divide by 2, and you're going to get your answer for that. So what is that? 158. Oh, 50 and 24, 79. So then to get the x, like the real answer, you know, so you're going to do an extra step. You're going to do x equals 180 minus 79. So you get 101. So keep in mind that's a thing, and you can do that. Okay. This guy. Okay, so we want angle L, which is like hanging outside the picture. So the angle's outside. So I'm going to do the minusy thing with a divide by 2. So this is cool because I have one number. So cool, love life. Okay, so you're going to do, oops, let's not do highlighter. We're going to do x equals, so the angle is the big arc minus the small one, divide by 2. So mystery, that's fun. Minus the small one, at least I have, right? I got 102. But then I have to figure out, like, what the heck? You know what I mean? Does anyone know how to get the big one? I know it's been a long break, but you can get it. Yeah? Yes! Exactly. Yeah. So you can take 360 minus 102 to get it. So what is that? 258. So 258 is that 258, and then you subtract them, divide by 2. So don't forget, like, those are the two tangent ones. So that one people usually forget that you can do a 360 because you have technically the whole circle. So you could do it. So subtract that. So what is that? 156 or 156 divided by 2. So that'd be 78, 8 degrees. So there you go. Hey, that was fun. And then if you like algebra, can throw up everywhere. Do you know what I mean? So it's like that is just, you're kind of just suffering through it. But it's the same setup, you know? Like you got an angle sticking out, so you're going to do the minus one with the divide. So what you're going to do is the angle part is going to equal, so you're going to do 50 equals, and then you're going to do the big arc. So 12x plus 8 minus, and then this is what everyone messes up, is that you don't subtract the whole thing. So make sure you subtract, so make sure you have the whole parentheses. 4x plus 4, all divided by 2. So we're just going to go ham on the algebra, essentially. So just don't mess up a negative sign, so you're not allowed. So we have to find angle R. Why don't I just say 50? That shouldn't say angle R. That should say X. Sorry. Why would I have that? You could just say 50 degrees. That'd be so much easier. Okay, so anyway, we're going to find X. I changed my mind. So what you're going to do, I clear out the fraction, so I'd for sure change that to 100 because I don't like fractions. They're horrible. So you're going to go 100 equals, and then what I'm going to do is distribute that negative. So negative 4x minus 4. Okay, so I doubled the left, and then I distributed the negative sign. So just be careful. That's like the biggest mistake people mess up. They don't like distribute the whole thing because you're distributing it through that whole product or that whole sum. And then now it's just like algebra. Because then what do we get? 8x plus 4. We get 96. Which, is that even a nice number? I don't even know. Is it 12? Oh yeah, it is. That's satisfying. So you get 12. So, it might be algebra-y. Still going, okay. Are we still live? You guys want to try this one? It's like the same thing. Wait, no, do this one maybe. This is like the same thing. But it's not the outside one. This is the inside one. So the angle on the inside is going to be the average of the two arcs. So see if you can get it. You like got it basically. Okay, so I'm gonna read that already. Okay, so 10. Average, divide, average them, set equal to 60, and then solve it. So I multiply by 2, combine like terms, divide. Yeah. All right. Oh, we gotta find the arc. Dang it. Okay, it's fine. We're gonna have to find x first, unfortunately. So, okay, this one's like the same idea. So we got an angle sticking out. So we gotta do this one, the minusy one, right? So we're gonna do 5x minus 10 equals the big arc. It's gonna be kind of messy. 13x plus 7 minus the little arc, 60, all divided by 2. So I guess the moral of the story for this one is make sure you double the whole pink part. Because we doubled it and we got 60 on or like 120 on the other one. This one you have to make sure you say 10x minus 20. So make sure you double all of it. So you have to make sure this is 10x minus 20 if you're going to double both sides, right? So just make sure you're not doing anything goofy. And then this one's what, negative 53. And then algebra it out, right? So we get 3x and then 33. So we get 11, I think, if I did my math right. And then, I gotta find the arc. Dang it. All right, so to find arc RB, you just plug it in, right? So RB is 13x plus 7. So what is 130? So 143, right? 143, 150. Is that right? That seems too big, small. Is that right? 150? 130, yeah, 143 plus 7, 150. Okay. All right, then the last but not least, and then we're done. We need to find ln. Okay, so this one's probably the hardest one. Not to solve, but to set up. So for this guy, you've got the angle sticking out. So you know it's going to be the subtracting thing, right? So we're going to do the subtracting one. So we're going to do 50 equals, and then this is horrible because you're like, I literally have nothing, you know, like nothing on the arcs. So this is the strategy, and there's one like this on like all the quizzes and tests, okay? So what you're gonna do, because we need to find ln, so I guess I'm just gonna put an x there just because that's where the x is. So then x would be, you know, at the end over here, right? Minus. Now, this is where it gets kind of wild, is you need to figure out what this is in terms of x. But do you see how like the whole circle's highlighted now? So remember, where is that one? This guy. Remember this thing? Where you had just had that 102, like the dinky 102. You're going to do exactly, you're going to do 360 minus the green, right? To get that blue piece. So it just looks really ugly compared to the other one, because this one's going to be 360 minus x. What I'm saying? So it's kind of like looks wild, look crazy. So again, I put x for ln because that's what they wanted. And then to get the blue one, I would take whatever x is. So say it was 100, I would take 360 minus 100, you know? So when you solve it though, people do like goofball mistakes. So like, when you solve this, you get 100, and then you get 360 minus 2x, right? Because you have two x's. The 1 minus x is for the first arc, and then you have to subtract because that's like the formula. So you're going to subtract the two x's, subtract over 300 or 360. So you get negative 260 equals negative 2x, divide by negative 2, so 130. So, I don't know. I thought that one's kind of hard. So that's it. You have a worksheet.